Okay, so I want you to imagine a world where the roads aren't just pavement. They're more like living arteries. Today, we're taking a journey to Arreqqana to explore a transportation system that's so much more than just getting from point A to point B. This is a world where every single path is infused with philosophy, with poetry, and a really deep respect for nature. And it all comes down to this one single phrase. It's the key to understanding pretty much everything about Arreqqana. The road breathes with flow. I mean, think about that. Here, roads aren't just these dead, inert strips of pavement. Nope, they're seen as living conduits of energy. So to drive isn't just to travel, it's to actually participate in that flow. All right, so before we look at a single highway or even a traffic light, we first have to get our heads around the core philosophy here, because this one idea governs their entire world of movement. It's a belief that, and I mean this literally, shapes every single street. And that philosophy is called Ki Hai Nu Va, or as we translate it, resonance flow. The fundamental idea here is that human movement, especially when you're in a vehicle, should feel just as natural and harmonious as, say, a river winding its way to the sea, or the wind moving through a forest. So yeah, forget gridlock, think fluid dynamics. Now, this philosophy gets translated directly into practical, real-world engineering through 5 guiding principles. You've got the flow of wind, the breath of flame, the memory of stone. These aren't just poetic ideas. These elemental concepts inform every single planning decision. So designing a city here isn't just about function, it's a deeply spiritual act. Okay, so we've got the philosophy down. Now let's see how it all plays out on a truly grand scale. We're talking about their largest physical creation, the massive, continent-spanning highway system known as the Kivara roads. This, right here, is where belief meets megastructure. And visually, I mean, these highways are just stunning. They're made of this beautiful stone-glass hybrid material, and get this, they don't just carve straight, ugly lines through the world. No, they flow with the natural curves of the land. They'll tunnel through a mountain, sure, but they do it respectfully. They soar over forests on these elegant skyways. It's all about harmony. The entire network is built around 4 main arterial routes. So you've got your main coastal spine, that's for nobles and commerce. Then there's this dramatic mountain descent loop that uses sky bridges. There's even an island connector built on floating platforms. And of course, there's an exclusive express route for the elite, which they call the Heart Line, linking straight to the capital. But don't let all this talk of spirituality and harmony make you think it's slow. Oh no. In the special fast-wind lanes, vehicles can hit speeds of up to 138 km miles per hour. It's just a brilliant illustration of how they've mastered combining that natural flow with some serious cutting-edge efficiency. And the technology is just woven into the aesthetic so seamlessly. I mean, your vehicle recharges wirelessly just by driving over these glowing plates in the road called Quetzalcoatl pads. The sound walls? They're not just ugly concrete barriers, they're artfully engraved with a special script that actually deflects the noise. And traveling at night? You're guided by the gentle glow of these beautiful silver and gold moon lamps. Okay, so that's the grand highway network. But what about when you get off the highway? How does this whole philosophy of flow apply when you're just driving around a local neighborhood? Let's zoom right in and look at the unique rules that govern their city streets. Let's just start with something we all know, traffic lights. You know, our system is purely functional, right? Red, yellow, green. Stop, caution, go. Now, compare that to Arreqqana, where the signals are based on elemental concepts. To them, red isn't just stop, it's the stillness of flame. Green isn't just go, it's the forward movement of wind. It's a totally different mindset. So what this means is that drivers aren't just blindly obeying a command. They're participating in a cycle. That bright maroon flame tone signifies a moment of stillness before action. The pulsing, deep blue river tone isn't just a caution light. It's seen as a call to prepare your energy for movement. Like I said, it is a completely different way of thinking about something as simple as traffic. And this philosophy goes way beyond just the traffic lights. It extends to the very classification of the roads themselves. Local streets are actually categorized by element, and each one has its own color-coded markers and its own purpose. So a blue river road, that's going to be a quiet residential street. A silver wind road, that's a busy commercial boulevard. You immediately know the purpose of a street just by its classification. This insane attention to detail carries right on through to something as basic as a mailing address. You see, it's not just a number and a street name. It includes the district, a unique glyph for that specific block, and even the individual house name. All of it together creates this really rich, layered sense of place. And speaking of numbers, get this. Even the street numbers have a hidden logic to them. They aren't random at all. They tell you exactly where you are in relation to the geography of the land. So low numbers, like 1 to 99, mean you're near the coast. High numbers, up in the 700s, mean you're in the elite districts closer to the mountains. Your address is literally a map. Okay, so finally, let's talk about how all of this incredible infrastructure actually shapes the culture. Because in Arreqqana, travel isn't a chore you just have to get through. It's considered a deeply meaningful, almost sacred part of life. Just take their mile markers, for instance. They're called Q-Hyra stones. And listen to what one might say. You are at mile 27. Flow west beneath the calm wind. You see, it's not just a number. It's a direction, it's a piece of poetry, and it's like a small blessing for your journey. It turns a simple highway marker into a moment of genuine reflection. Okay, I have a question for you. Think about the rest stops you've been to in your life. Now, what if instead of just being a place for cheap coffee and gas, a rest stop actually felt like a welcoming home? Well, in Arreqqana, that's exactly what they have. They're called naraves, or courtesy houses. And every 44 kilometers or so on major highways, you'll find one of these small, welcoming homes. They're run by dedicated hosts, known as shivara keepers, whose entire job is to provide sanctuary to travelers. And believe me, these are so much more than just a quick stop. We're talking free overnight shelter for up to 7 days. They offer meals, tea, even something called moon milk. They'll help with basic vehicle repairs, they're a sanctuary for prayer and rest, and maybe best of all, there's a communal logbook where travelers share their stories, creating this living history of the road. It's a whole system built on the core belief that caring for travelers is a sacred duty. Ultimately, it all comes back to this one really powerful idea. The entire infrastructure of Arreqqana, every road, every sign, every house, it's all designed not to dominate nature, not to impose human will on the world, but to echo it, to create cities and roads that are a reflection of nature's own beautiful, efficient design. So when we look at our own world with its traffic jams and concrete jungles, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What could our cities learn from the living, breathing, flowing paths of Arreqqana?